Hey everyone, welcome to Northern Viking Explorer and the Cruising Show podcast. If you're new here, my name is Ken.
I'm Andrea.
And today we're going to be discussing our likes and wishes from our recent 7-night Alaskan cruise on the Grand Princess.
We'll be discussing the layout and amenities, our Obstructed Oceanview cabin, as well as the free food and restaurants, and the entertainment and activities.
So let's go ahead and dive right into this comprehensive review of the Grand Princess and talk about some of our likes and wishes. All right, so Andrea, the layout and amenities of the Grand Princess. Let's start out with the upper decks of the ship, so the Lido area and the decks above that.
Yes, I love the outdoor space on the upper decks, especially on this ship because there's 4 main pools.
There are 4 main pools. I really enjoy the terrace pool. So that's the one at the aft of the ship. It's technically on deck 12, but you kind of walk down from deck 14 to it. There's stairs, but there's no deck 13, so it's kind of halfway down.
And it's generally pretty quiet, and it has an amazing view. And when we went swimming, it was warm.
It was warm. We were in Alaska, so it was definitely heated during our sailing. It was really nice in there.
I like that space. It's pretty.
So, and then I should mention there was 2 hot tubs for that pool, and they were larger hot tubs, but they're up above. You kind of have to go up a few staircases, so they're not right by the pool, but there are 2 large hot tubs at the aft of the ship.
Which would be really easy to miss because you don't really see them. So they're really nice and large.
Yeah, no, for sure. So terrace pool is really nice. Now, moving forward on the ship, so on the other side of the buffet, you're going to find the covered pool. So this one's the Calypso Reef and Pool.
And this is excellent when you're headed to Alaska.
Yeah.
Because no matter what the weather is, if you want to go swimming, you can go swimming.
I do appreciate that is covered. Actually, on the kind of deck above it, around the pool, that's where you're going to find the ping pong tables and some loungers out there. And down closer to the main pool area, there was actually seating for the buffet as well. So really nice area. There's a couple of hot tubs in there. I do appreciate that it's closed in. Great for Alaska.
And then there was another main pool outside in the open.
Yeah, so this one is the Neptune's Reef and Pool.
Yes.
So again, a couple of hot tubs out there. Nice big pool. This is where you're going to find the big screen above it. All the loungers around it. This would be kind of considered your main pool for the ship. So, but then in Alaska, it was warm, but again, it's outside. So you kind of have the option of what you want to do.
And then there was the 4th pool, which was very close to the gym and spa area.
Yeah, so this is the adult-only pool, I believe. So there was actually some confusion when we got on because we asked one staff member and they said it was part of the Lotus Spa package, which we found out was not true because we were wondering. We thought it was open to everyone. So the pool and the hot tubs were open to everyone, adult everyone, I should say, not kids. But the sauna in that area was part of the spa.
That's correct, yeah.
So that was a little quieter up there.
Definitely quieter up there.
So really nice area. And again, each of those pools basically has 2 hot tubs in that area to go with them.
Lots of nice pools.
Now, one really, I guess what I'd say is is the hours of the hot tubs.
Yeah. Now, we had to ask because I couldn't find any posted hours or information, which I actually wish that they would have posted.
Yeah.
But when we asked, they said between 6:30 and midnight. So that is late.
I do appreciate, and I've noticed this before on Princess, that those pools, or hot tubs I should say, are open till midnight, which is much appreciated. It's nice to go out there. If you want to watch a movie even from the hot tub, you can do that. It's nice if they're open that late. You're on holidays. You want to be able to enjoy those things into the evening, and I definitely appreciate that because not all cruise lines keep them open that late.
Very true.
And like you'd mentioned, we couldn't see those times posted anywhere. I didn't even see it in the Princess Patter.
No, I looked in the app. I couldn't find it. So if you see it, let me know.
Yeah. And then towards the front of the ship on deck 15, you're going to find the complimentary fitness center. It's kind of attached to the Lotus Spa.
Now, this is a nice gym. It's not very big, but they have a great option of cardio equipment. A lot of them have TVs built in them. There's some machines that you can use, as well as a small amount of free weights. But I will say on sea days, it was pretty busy.
Yeah. I would say the gym is adequate. It's not overly big, but it is there.
It is, and it's nice.
So, and that is attached to the Lotus Spa. So this is something you can pay an additional fee to use different things like massages,
Getting your nails done, hair, you name it.
All that kind of stuff. And they also, you can pay additional to use the sauna, that sort of thing as well.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all at the front of deck 15. Now, kind of above that on deck 16, you're going to find something called the sanctuary.
Now, this is a paid for extra cost to use.
It is a beautiful area. So there's comfy loungers in there. They've got some specialty like flavored waters, great views off the front of the ship. So it is something you can pay extra for. It seemed really quiet on our sailing.
Definitely underused, and so much so that I wish they would just open it up to everybody.
I don't think it's a big seller for Alaska because it is open air to the outside. Even though it's covered, it could get cool in there. I think it's, especially for Alaska, I don't know about the Caribbean, but for Alaska, I wish that they would allow everybody to use that area so they can see the views. I feel like it's really quiet in there and underutilized, and it would just give people a lot more space.
They're true.
Not that the ship was overly busy, it's just one more place to go enjoy the views. So I do wish they would open that up to everyone for Alaska.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Going back to the back by the pool area, so kind of above that, we'd already mentioned the big screen is there for watching movies, which is nice. But kind of behind the big screen, you can go up a level. This is going to be another wish, I think.
Yeah, and it's so easy to miss.
It is, yeah. So there's I think it's called the Princess Links. And it's kind of like a putting area, croquet, lawn,
bocce ball
kind of area. It was very underwhelming.
It was shocking. It seemed like they had this random spot on the ship and they just put down some AstroTurf. And do you want to explain what the putting holes were?
Well, we started putting with the putters and golf balls, and then we realized that, I'm not sure if they were the holes, they were drains. So we're not sure what, it was just wasted space.
It could have been so much better.
Yeah, I would hope that they could have more of a mini golf area, even if it's super basic, it's just kind of a wasted space that definitely could be upgraded. So
definitely.
The other thing is there's not really a jogging track on the ship. So if you're looking for a jogging track, you can walk around on the promenade, but that's just a walking area. So you can't go for a run outside. So you'd have to use the fitness center for that. So that's kind of another wish if that's something you're looking for. But that being said, the sports court is quite nice. Kind of up high at the aft of the ship on deck 17.
Yeah.
So they had different things there throughout the week. It's kind of like the basketball court of the ship.
And there's a lot of different activities and events happening there. Very busy spot on the ship.
Yeah. On the upper decks, you're also going to find several casual dining areas. So one of them is the Coffee and Cones out on deck 14 by the pools.
Now, this is a coffee shop where you would go and purchase coffee. They have specialty coffees there as well as really fancy ice creams. But there is complimentary soft serve ice cream here.
Yeah, they make it for you there. I think it was vanilla, swirl, and chocolate.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and then out by the pool there as well, you're going to find a couple kind of casual eating venues as well. They've got sliced pizza where you can get complimentary slices of pizza. They were open into the evening, so they make that up and serve it out there. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. And then the Salty Dog Grill is out there.
This is a favorite of mine too. This is like your burger and fries and hot dogs.
Yeah, so those are out there, and those two were both complimentary to eat at. Now, kind of more towards the back on deck 14, you're going to find the main buffet, so the Horizon Court buffet. The one thing I like about this is it's on both sides of the ship. There's seating right by the window down both sides.
And they keep it open, so it's a great space to sit and take in the views from.
Yeah, so you've got kind of the two buffet areas, one on each side, and then the seating with several complimentary beverage stations as well. And then I do like that they even let you sit there when they're closed.
Which is really nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then kind of towards the aft up on deck 15, so more kind of above the buffet-ish area, you're going to find the 1-5 lounge. So kind of the dance club.
Yeah. Now, we didn't take in any events in this area, but we did go sit in there because it was quiet at different points of the day. It was easy to get a coffee and a treat from the buffet below and just head up there and relax.
Yeah. So during the day, there was some quiet seating in there. A lot of people would go in there during the day. Of course, they did have events at different times, but it was a neat place to kind of go check out. And actually beside that, there was also the little chapel for weddings.
They did host a lot of like educational or like kind of seminar type things in that space as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, before we head down to some of the lower decks, the one other cool place on the ship is on deck 15. If you kind of go down the side of the ship, you end up outside towards the front. This is kind of in front of the fitness center, and it's just a great place for views to check out as well. So I would kind of look for that. It's easy to miss that you can go out there.
It's easy to miss things too, because a lot of things are kind of up and down on different levels.
Mm-hmm. So from there, let's head on down to the lower decks of the ship. I should mention though, amongst the cabins as you're going down, there are several laundry facilities. So self-serve laundry facilities. So washers, dryers, ironing boards throughout that. So if you do need that, those were self-serve on there.
And lots of ironing boards. I was quite impressed.
Yeah. So I believe it was $3 for wash, $3 for dry, and $1.50 for detergent if you need it. So those were on there. Now, so jumping down on decks 5 and 6 at the front is the Princess Theater.
Now this is a nice theater. It's a decent size.
There wasn't any poles in the way. It was open, quite a bit of seating.
I would say it looks a little bit dated. It's not the fanciest that I've seen.
No, but it's kind of two-tiered. So there's the upper tier, and then you walk down a few stairs, and there's a lower tier in there. There's kind of two, I don't know what you'd call them, little balcony seatings off to the side.
Peanut galleries?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Muppets where you sit off on the side, the guys up on the side. So those were in there. For this ship, it was a good-sized venue, and it's easy to miss, but little tables fold out of the seats.
Yes, super easy to miss because they're kind of hidden in there.
Yeah. So the Princess Theater is lovely. Now, outside of the Princess Theater, you're going to find the piazza area. So decks 4, 5, and 6, it's kind of a 3-story area. This is where a lot of the stuff happens on the ship.
I feel like it's the heart of the ship, really.
Yeah.
A lot of events are happening. So it's an area you want to like keep an eye on, especially looking near Princess Platter and see the different activities that'll be happening there.
Yeah, so like the bottom floor, that's where there's a little stage and a piano. So there's often music happening there. They had a juggling act during ours out there, little dances, that sort of thing. So you're right, it is the heart of the ship. In this area, though, you're going to find the International Cafe. So if you do want to get some snacks, you can do that there. They do sell coffee there as well.
Yeah, this is nice too because if you want to watch some of the activities, it's fun to get a little treat and a coffee and sit there and watch.
Yeah. So there's, again, different bars around the area. I wish I wish there was seating along the railing so you could watch the little shows. We've had that on other ships where...
Like a bar seating?
Yeah, bar seating.
That would be so nice.
You can sit there with a beverage and enjoy the music or what have you. It just would give better views rather than just standing there at the edge. So.
Yeah, I'd like that. I love when they have that.
There's also down on deck 4, so kind of by the International Cafe, you're going to find Alfredo's Pizzeria as well. So that's a specialty restaurant on the ship. And the other thing, I do wish that there was some complimentary beverages in this area as well.
Yes, and there's no complimentary coffee too included. Now, kind of one little hack that we did is we actually traveled with our Yeti mugs, and so I'd fill them up upstairs so I could walk around the ship with my coffee.
Yeah.
Because that was the only place I could find complimentary coffee that you could self-serve.
Yeah. So, again, in the atrium area, or the piazza, there's shopping, so Facets, Calypso Cove, so different things. There's a few different shops, so jewelry, perfume, fashion accessories.
Yes.
And then alcohol, tobacco, and toiletries as well.
Yeah. I actually appreciate that they had a good variety of stuff in there. And there was stuff that I liked. And even if I wasn't cruising Alaska, they had nice Alaska stuff, but also stuff that I would generally like for my home.
Yeah, I think that was kind of attached to the logo wear shop where that kind of souvenirs were. So that was quite nice.
Really nice stuff.
Yeah.
Especially if you have onboard credit. There's some nice stuff in there.
Yeah. And then there's kind of 2 main dining rooms attached to the piazza. So there's 3 dining rooms on the ship. So 2 of them are right in the piazza area. So we've got the Michelangelo, which is on deck 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of midship, but off of the piazza. So that one... first and second seating, I believe, was there.
So that's where you have the same dining time every night.
And then Da Vinci was on deck 6, so right above that. So that, I believe, is walk-up, so if you don't have a reservation. And then at the aft of the ship is Botticelli's, where we ate most of the time for dinner. And that was Dine My Way reservations.
Yeah, and that was something too. We made reservations online actually before our cruise.
Yeah. So I think I'd mentioned this already, but lots of bars around the ship, the Wheelhouse Bar, Crooner's Lounge. There's bars in the Explorer's Lounge and is it the Vista at the back, I believe? There's bars in those areas.
Yes.
So when they've got stuff going on, you can order from those places. So Explorer's Lounge, kind of deck 7 midship, and Vista Lounge at the aft of the ship on deck 7. So these are a lot of stuff, similar stuff happens in these two venues.
It is, and it's what I like about this space. Okay, so they both have a bar in them, but they have comfy seating. You're not as packed in as you are in the theater.
Yeah.
It's more spaced out. It's very casual, very comfy, and they have, from auction shows, there's trivia, there's dancing lessons, comedy.
So I think on our sailing, the auction, like art auction, was in Explorers. They had some trivia, that sort of thing, and then I believe the comedy was more commonly in the Vista Lounge at the aft. You took dance lessons.
Yeah. So I like these spaces. They're quite large, and you don't find that on all ships.
Yeah.
And so this creates a lot of space for them to run activities all the time in different kind of activities. Creates a lot of options.
I would say, so for example, comedy in the Vista Lounge, we've been on comedy in other ships about the same size of ship, and this would have been like 3 times the amount of space, if not 4 times the amount of space for the comedy location, which was great. You're not, because a lot of times in comedy you might not even be able to get in. So
there was no lining up. I just walked in and got a seat, which was nice.
Yeah, for sure. So that's really nice. Great venues on there. And then I do appreciate on deck 7 you can go outside and walk all the way around the ship. So again, there is not a running track, which is kind of a wish. Not that we run, but we do like going out there and walking around.
I do love it. The one note I have, though, is like we like to power walk it and enjoy it a lot. There is stairs, though, when you go up towards the front. So if you have knee problems, that could be an issue for you.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's really nice.
And also, they will close that off up at the front if the weather is not great. So
they did on our sailing shortly.
So you might not be able to do the full loop if that's closed off. But I do enjoy that outdoor area. Some great views out there. Now, there are specialty restaurants on the ship. So the main ones would be, we already talked about the pizza.
Yes.
But there's the Crown Grill Steakhouse on deck 7. Sabatini's Italian on deck 7 as well. And then they also did a pop-up crab shack in the buffet area.
I noticed this at least twice. So this is something you can ask about and make plans to attend if you want some crab.
Yeah. If you're wondering about the casino, it's located on deck 6, kind of towards the front, more towards the Princess Theater. I would say it's probably, we didn't really spend any time in there other than walking through. It seems like it's average size for the ship. It's not overly big. It's just there. Yeah. So a normal size casino, I'd say. And then we do have a couple other wishes.
We do. Kind of like random wishes.
Well, I think we have some likes too.
Yeah,
but so one wish is the elevators.
I felt like there was enough of them.
Yeah.
But they were really slow to open and close the door, especially one of them.
Yeah.
I
think
something was wrong. Like it was so slow, I found it comical. It was like, wait for it. So I think they're having a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah. But I think the like was there wasn't long waits for the elevator.
True.
So
just waiting
even
for the
though
door.
they were slow. So the like is that there were enough elevators. Yeah. The wish was that
the doors would open faster.
So the other thing we noticed that, and I think this is just the maintenance of the ship. There were several areas that were closed off, especially on the upper decks that they were doing repairs.
This made it a little challenging to navigate the upper decks because you would have to go down a couple decks or up a couple decks to go around it. So it made it a little difficult to learn the ship.
Yeah.
And it made it really easy to miss different sections.
Yes. But then again, on the same page, I appreciate that they're on top of the maintenance.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I don't have a lot of wishes for the ship. There was a time where there was some dripping in the buffet. But
not like above the table area.
Yeah.
They had a couple of buckets.
And then actually friends of ours were on the next week and there was a few different areas around the ship that were leaking. So, it is an older ship, so do keep that in mind. But overall, for the age of the ship, it was a nice layout with adequate amenities. And I mean, there were a few maintenance issues, but other than that, I would definitely consider booking this cruise
Really,
again.
because nothing impacted our cruise.
No.
I had a great time. I think it's a nice ship. Let's talk about our cabin. It was an Obstructed Oceanview cabin, cabin E224. It was on deck 8, also known as the Emerald deck. It was on the left-hand side towards the front.
Yeah, we were actually right above the entrance to the Princess Theater. So,
Which we knew could be interesting.
yeah. And it was also an obstructed ocean view, so we didn't know what to expect for that as well. So we'll get to the view in a moment, but let's talk about the bedding and the bed.
Yes. Now, with Princess, I've always been quite happy with the bedding.
Yeah.
I find it and this did not disappoint. It was a soft bed. The linens were nice. Thought it was plush.
That's how I would describe it as well. I feel like every time we've sailed on Princess, the bedding is quite plush, and we don't wake up with sore backs. It's just been comfortable for us. So our bed was a king bed. You can have it separated into 2 twins. It was nice that way. Now, the one thing I also appreciated, I know you do as well, is the nightstands had 2 drawers in them plus an open area.
I like that. It makes it good to store little things that you may need to tuck away. And there was USB A ports. Was it A ports?
Yeah, I'll get to the plugs in a moment, but
Yeah.
both nightstands did have USB A ports in them, which is handy. It is nice to be able to charge a device beside the bed at night.
I think a lot of people like to have their phones close to them, so it's a bad habit. But you like your phone next to you.
But your phone is also your alarm. It's
a nightlight, a
it's
flashlight.
a nightlight. It's your kind of agenda you can look at there. It's for communicating with other people on the ship. So it definitely is something you use a lot.
And for me, reminiscing about the day, looking at the photos and thinking of all the things we've done,
Yeah.
I like my phone.
So there is also a main light switch behind kind of the pillows of the bed, so you can turn out the lights. You don't have to get up and walk over.
Which you might
to do that.
miss because
Yeah.
it's right smack. If the beds are put together, it's smack in the middle. So
Yeah. But let's talk about the plugs quickly because this is important to us. So again, both nightstands had a USB-A port on them for charging. Now over by the vanity or desk, there was 2 North American plugs. Now do keep in mind they're quite close together. So if your chargers are on the larger side, you might not be able to use both of them at once, but they are there. There was also, this one's an odder plug, but it's the Australian style.
on to us.
Odd to us, yeah. So there's the Australian style on the vanity, but that also had 2 more USB-A ports, which was handy. And then because the room's been modernized and now has a flat screen TV, where the old kind of square box style TV used to be in the corner, there was also a North American plug there.
Yes. Now there was one more plug though under the bed, and that's what the lights are hooked into. But that's also
That was a European plug. Yeah,
Yes.
so they actually delivered a fan to us. We asked to get a fan, which was a nice
Big fan,
like.
nice fan.
And they actually brought kind of a power bar that was the European one, and then that plugged into there. So that was hidden. It was really hard to see.
Yeah.
And I should also mention in the washroom there's a shaver plug which had North American and European. So there's quite a few plugs in this cabin. I was pleasantly surprised, a lot more than last time we sailed on Princess.
And you brought an adapter too for the Australian plug, so we had more than enough plugs to hook all our stuff in.
Yeah. So we kind of already mentioned the TV. So it used to be in the corner, kind of the square box. Now it was a nice big flat screen straight across from the bed. So maybe 42 inches.
Yeah, it was a good size, and the angle for watching TV from bed was good, as well as moving that TV out of the corner opened up like a lot of storage space. Like it made a giant open shelf. It looked a little awkward, but for keeping stuff up there,
I kept all my gadgets up there and stuff, so it was good. And there was a plug for charging.
So it works if you want. Yeah, it's great.
The TV though, one thing I do like about Princess, they have a fair amount of complimentary on-demand movies to watch, as well as comedies, TV shows, that sort of thing.
Especially if you like your marathon sitcoms, you can find a lot of your favorites on there and just like watch a lot.
But we do have a Wish.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just our room. So it's common that your signal will cut out on a cruise when you're going through areas, but our TV on demand was not stable on the ship, which surprised me.
It surprised me because I would think that the entertainment would be stored there on the ship and that they wouldn't need internet to receive that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we tried watching a few movies, we at parts of the cruise it was fine, but other times it would just be pause and say no connection. And we tried watching and starting it over and it would just crash. So we gave up.
Yeah.
But I probably should have said something just in case there was a problem with it. But it was.
I think it's an internet issue because I think it depends where you are in your sailing.
Yeah. So do keep that in mind. But so the rest of the room. So there's the vanity with a chair.
Which is nice, but it's poorly lit. So if you want to do your makeup there, it's not the best. The space is good because there's nice drawers and there's room for the hairdryer.
There's a hairdryer there, yeah.
So the spacing is good, just not the lighting.
Lots of mirrors as well in the room. So the headboard area is a mirror, a lot of mirror, like by the vanity.
Yeah.
I think there was a mirror in the corner as well.
There was a full-length mirror on the back of the bathroom door.
Yeah, so lots of mirrors. There's a small side round table as well.
Yes.
I don't know that we needed that.
No, I would say it was kind of in the way, but some people might like to have that.
Yeah.
It'd be better if you had a couch, and we didn't have a couch.
Yes, I would agree.
There's a mini fridge in there too. Actually, I would call it a mini cooler.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep some beverages chilled, that's an option in there.
So even though the furniture was dated, it's quite dated.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything worked.
And worked well, like the way it's supposed to. Like all the drawers open smoothly.
Yeah, we've had it where kind of ball bearings are falling out and you can barely open the
or I've
drawers.
gone and opened stuff and it's broken off. Nothing like that happened.
Yeah, so it was well maintained that way. Now we did mention that we're kind of above the theater, the entrance to the theater.
So I would say this wasn't much of an issue for us. But if you are someone who wants to nap or go to bed early, you could hear the sound from the theater.
For sure. I feel like kind of that 3:30 to 5-ish area, it probably changed a little bit. They were definitely practicing for the theater shows in the evening, especially on the days where it was a big production show. You could hear all the music. You could even hear the words.
Yeah. And it didn't bother me at all. Like if I put the TV on, I could still hear the TV above it.
For sure. But if you were trying to have a nap in the afternoon, you might have struggled.
You might want that fan we asked for.
And then, of course, into the evening. So the second show, I believe, was at 9:30 and they were 45 minutes long. You could for sure hear the music for that. So
I don't recall hearing anything after 10:30.
Yeah.
Which is good. But generally the cabin was fairly quiet though.
It was. I don't ever remember hearing the neighbors or people in the hall. There was
vaguely in the hall a couple times.
There was a little vent in the door, and we've had a vent in the door on other ships, and it was really loud.
It was horrible.
And I didn't notice anything.
No, it was a very quiet cabin other than the odd theater sounds.
Yeah. So let's talk about the washroom and the storage. So the main washroom, your average.
It was tight.
Typical. Yeah. A corner shower with a curtain. I guess that's a wish. I don't really like the shower curtain, but for the age of the ship. One thing I do wish, though, is the shower head. I wish it was kind of the removable type. Because the showers are so tight, it was like a fixed head.
Yes. But one thing I did like is the head height was much better than the crown.
Okay. Yeah,
I could just stand under. When I was on the crown, I had to duck. So this, I appreciate that was taller. The
other thing I appreciate, so they had body wash in there, and then they had a shampoo conditioner. So the conditioner, a 2-in-1. So, but it did have conditioner because you're not going to find that on all cruise lines. There's also a drying rack in there, or line, I should say.
Yeah, which is good because many people have wet swimsuits that. It's a good place to hang them up.
Now, we said we didn't have any problems in the room. We did have one problem, I remember.
But this I'm actually impressed with. So I'll explain. When I got in the shower, it would go from cold, hot, cold, hot. It reminded me like when you're having a shower and someone flushes the toilet.
Yeah. But it was scalding hot when it was hot.
Scalding hot. Yeah. And I thought, oh, it's an older ship. This could just be a problem. So I casually mentioned it to our room steward. and she was on it immediately. She got staff to come in and fix it.
And it was totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah, so that was on the first day. So fixed right away.
Yeah, and then they followed up. They called to make sure it was working good. So they were really on it. I was actually, from a problem, it actually switched to something that I was impressed.
Yeah.
Really
I would
impressed.
agree. So the rest of the washroom, so the cruise toilet is there. The vanity was a little on the smaller side, but it was ample space. They did have the plugs again for the shaver were there, so both the North American and European, and then by the sink there was liquid hand soap
and body lotion, which is nice, really nice. And also, our room steward asked us if we would like extra towels, which we said yes to.
Yeah.
Not so much of a big deal in Alaska because it's a cooler cruise, but it's nice to have those extra towels in there.
Yeah, maybe you went hot tubbing and you
want a clean towel
or whatever. There are towels by the hot tubs, but if you just want it for the room. So outside the washroom was I don't want to say large, a bigger open closet.
So it was smaller than the one we had on the Crown, definitely smaller.
And smaller than the Sapphire.
Yeah.
So, and the Discovery. So it's the smallest one we've had on Princess. Lots of hangers though.
Yes.
It's an open area, so no door on it. This is where they also stored the life jackets.
And
so
that's,
they're above.
even though the life jackets were up there, they only took up a small part of that shelf though, which was really deep. So if you wanted to kind of put stuff out of the way up high, a lot of storage space there.
Yeah. And then across from that is where you're going to find like a cabinet where you open up and there's like shelves to put your clothing in. So, but that wasn't, it was enough for us, but that's where they store the safe. The safe was on the small side, like really small.
Yeah.
Probably the smallest.
Yeah. And some of the shelves weren't very deep because it backed onto the shower.
Yeah.
So some of them were deeper than others.
It was adequate for us for a week, but if you were doing a long cruise,
if you had a cabin with 4, that would be challenging.
Yeah.
With 4 people.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be much space.
So, but for us, enough space for sure.
It's good.
Now let's jump over to the obstructed Oceanview window.
Yes, this was a big mystery for us.
Yes.
Because when you're getting obstructed, you're like, okay, how obstructed?
Yeah. So first thing I want to say is I do appreciate the extra light. So it's nice that way. But when you look out the window, so we were above a lifeboat, so kind of the bottom part is covered, and then there's an overhang above us. So you're looking out the window. I would say at least half of the view of the ocean is covered.
Yeah, and some of the sky as well. And even though we got more light, not a lot of light came in. I think because of the overhang.
Yeah. So overall, I do appreciate it. We didn't pay a large amount for the upgrade. So I would definitely do it again. But if you're looking for a full open view, you're not going to get it with that.
If you're hoping to whale watch from your cabin, don't do an obstructed view.
So, other than that, we do have a couple other wishes, I think. So the cabin was cool enough for us for Alaska, but you could definitely tell it wasn't cold.
And I was okay, but just okay for temperature wise, because I actually like my bedroom on the chillier side.
Yeah.
And it never got chilly.
So I'd be curious if they can crank that up for if it's in the Caribbean, how the temperature would be.
Or was it just the location of our cabin?
Yeah.
Just a little warmer.
And then, so we did ask we'd already mentioned a fan, which was nice and big.
Yeah.
And that drowned out sound and
helped with the
movement.
temperature too.
Yeah.
So that air movement helps a lot.
Yeah. But overall, the cabin seemed well maintained for the age, and we were happy with it. We had a good week in there. It was a good cabin. So
I'd like to be able to look out and see what the weather is and take a peek. It was a really nice cabin.
So if you're getting value out of this Grand Princess review, make sure to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. So Andrea, let's talk about the free food and restaurants on the Grand Princess. So this is food that was included with our cruise fare at no additional cost.
Now, I tried very hard to sample as much of it as possible, but it is impossible to get to everything.
There's a lot of food options, and you can't try everything.
I tried hard. But let's start with the main dining rooms.
Yeah, so there's 3 of them on the Grand Princess. So there's 2 of them by the Piazza. So we've got the Michelangelo, I believe deck 5. And that's the
Set seating.
set seating, so first and second seating. And then above that is the Da Vinci, deck 6. And that's walk up.
Yeah, and this is a great option for those days that you're in port late and you don't know when you'll be back or you want more flexibility.
Yeah.
There's no reservation. You just go and get in line.
And I think we did that once.
We did.
On our cruise. And then at the after the ship, deck 6 is Botticelli's, where we ate most of our meals. So most of our dinners, as well as the odd breakfast and lunch.
That's right. They call it Dine My Way for dinner time for
Yeah.
that dining room. Now, we did book reservations online before our cruise, which is an option if you want to try and organize that before you leave.
Yeah.
It was quite convenient. You know, they worked really well still, though, to try and seat us in the same area with the same wait staff when possible. So it worked quite well.
Yeah, no, it was good that way. So, but the way it's designed, there's not a lot of like, the dining rooms are a dark kind of color. There's not a lot of windows.
No.
So, it's not very bright in them.
No, it's not.
So
We asked the maitre d' like almost every night, can you seat us by the window? Seat us by the window. And he did try.
Yeah.
And he knew we would be asking, but it was difficult to do.
yeah. So, but nice dining rooms, and again, there's quite a bit of space because there is 3 of them. But we'll quickly talk about some of the food. So breakfast, we went there on a couple of occasions. They have different pastries, Danish pastries, scrambled eggs, omelets, that sort of thing.
Or you could do
however you want them. Yeah.
oatmeal.
Yeah.
There's
Pancakes, bacon sausage, hash browns. So there's quite a bit of options there. Toast, bagels, juice, coffee. So
All your basics, what you would
Yeah.
want.
what were your thoughts on breakfast?
Okay, I love eating breakfast in the main dining room because I like that relaxed sit down.
Yeah.
Some of my wishes, though, are first off that the hours would be extended.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
7 to 9.
Yeah.
So on vacation to have to be dressed and ready to go by 9 o'clock. Some days was pushing it.
Yeah. And I mean, even an extra hour would have been great. I just feel like when you're on holidays, you don't necessarily want to get up really early.
And it seemed like it squished everybody into the dining room at the same time for breakfast and got really busy, which led to my next kind of wish is that the service would be a little quicker for breakfast
Yeah.
and that my food would be warm because often my food was cold
Yeah.
for breakfast. So breakfast was a struggle in there.
But I do like once you're seated, I like is that you can relax. You're not feeling like you're being pushed out because the buffet's busy or whatever. You can just relax and enjoy your meal.
And the staff didn't hurry us along either. So it was, even though I have some wishes, I would still eat in the main dining room. And that was just our experience. And it could have been a couple one-off
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah. Lunch though, we went there on a couple of times as well. I enjoyed the lunch. So the one day, I believe it was our last sea day, they had the pub lunch.
yes. And I was surprised because we have done this on other Princess cruises. But I didn't see any advertisement for this.
No.
I didn't see it in the Princess Patter. I didn't see any posters or signage.
No.
We asked our waiter one night and said, are you guys doing a pub lunch?
Yeah.
So
And
ask if you want to try this, ask.
yeah, so that was kind of like the fish and chips lunch. I know you had mac and cheese, they had cottage beef pies.
That was really good.
Yeah, different desserts, that sort of thing. So that's the pub lunch. Now, we did go there a couple of times for the regular lunch as well. I think we went on embarkation day, but they had lots of different stuff you could order from, a variety of different salads. I believe I had the burger there. They had salmon. I know you had that on embarkation day. Pasta, chicken. I had the chicken and waffles one day, which was good. Different beef dishes, that sort of thing. So it is a great spot for lunch.
And I really recommend it on embarkation day because it was easy to get in there and get seated, where buffets tend to be very busy. So it was very relaxed. And some of the options too on the first day embarkation, there's only time you can get those options. So I would head there.
Now, we also went to Tea Time. This is more your thing than mine. And I don't think it was in Botticelli's. I think it was in one of the other dining
It was in Da
rooms.
Vinci.
Da Vinci.
Now, this is a tricky thing because I find that the tea times are on the same day as formal night, the formal evenings. So you're trying to squish in almost an extra meal. So I love tea time, but I struggle to find room in my belly for it.
Yeah. So what is it? The little sandwiches.
And the scones and with the little kind of like whipped cream with it. There's little desserts.
Yeah.
Most people are having tea, but you can ask for coffee.
Yeah, I had coffee. So
It feels elegant. It's nice.
it's more your thing than mine, but I go along.
And thing to note, they will automatically, well, for us, seat you in a larger table if you don't ask. Otherwise, you can ask to be seated on your own. So if it matters, you want one or the other, just let them know.
And then, of course, dinner in the main dining room.
Oh, this is such a great perk about cruising is I love the traditional dinners in the dining room.
I do like the traditional. I like the paper menus or the menus that they bring out to you. Not a QR code. I like that aspect of it. I like the tablecloths. I like the same waiter as much as we can throughout the week. Those are really good things.
They really set the tone and the environment, and it makes it classier. I even appreciate that they bring you a dessert menu after dinner.
Yes.
You're not rushed to figure out everything at once. You can focus on your entree and your appy, and I don't know, it just is nice.
Yeah. I do want to say Princess does a good job in plating their food as well. I do think the food looks fancy.
Presentation
and pretty.
is good, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. So dinner, I mean, they had a variety of different salads over the week. I of course like my Caesar salad, but they had regular kind of salads. It kind of changed from day to day. I did also enjoy the watermelon and feta salad. Yeah. I know you had the shrimp cocktail and the crab cake. Yeah.
We didn't enjoy any soups, but there were soups on the menu as well.
Yeah. And then some of the main dishes. So there was a beef tenderloin, a beef Wellington, chicken cordon bleu, prime rib.
Yeah.
There was lots of fish on this cruise.
Lots of fish.
Yeah.
And salmon.
Yeah.
It's good.
So a lot of people do ask, is there a complimentary lobster tail on the cruise? So yes, on our sailing, there was a complimentary lobster tail. It was on the second formal night. They called it land and sea. So that was a steak as well as a lobster tail in one dish. And that was
nice.
complimentary. Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah. So some of the desserts, there's a lot of favorites there as well.
It's difficult to choose.
Yeah. So I always like the creme brulee.
And they did a good job. Like,
Yeah.
The top was nice. You know, the sugar's crystallized. It was good.
Yeah. Blueberry cobbler, apple pie, and then baked Alaska as well.
Yeah, I really liked the
Yeah.
cobbler with some ice cream. It was really good. Then they have some of their classic princess desserts they're known for, like their Princess Love Boat Dream. Like
Yeah.
they have their specialty ones that they bring out.
Yeah. They also had sundaes.
Which you enjoyed.
If you're a kid or a kid at heart, you can get a sundae. So
And they also have French fries if you ask.
they do, yes. So if you want that, they've got that. So the main dining rooms, I enjoyed them. Other than we had, breakfast there with the temperature of the food. The main dishes though were quite good.
They were good.
Yeah.
And I felt like our staff made an effort to get to know us. I liked the spacing between the tables.
Yeah.
And I liked the people that were seated around us.
Yeah. No, it
We
was
had
good.
a nice time.
It was
really
good.
nice time.
So from there, let's jump up to the Horizon Court Buffet. So this is on deck 14 towards the aft of the ship. First off, I do want to say I do like how big it was for seating wise.
Yes, and that the buffet is on both the port and the starboard side, on both sides,
Yeah.
which they use strategically to switch back and forth during non-peak times. You'll find foods on one side and not on the other.
Yeah.
It's done well.
It is. Now, when you first get on, you might be like, oh, that's a small buffet. But there's two smaller buffets, one on each side. So it's bigger than it looks.
Yes.
And like you say, they kind of switch back and forth. So they might just be ending breakfast and starting lunch right away on the other side. So there's not really spaces where they're kind of closed.
But if they tell you that it's closed on one side, you can still take your food onto the other side.
Yeah.
which is good if you want to space out or have a bit of a quiet meal. It is nice.
So, but one wish I did have in this area, so we were on the Crown, which is a very similar ship. They also had a smaller kind of third buffet section at the back by the aft pool, inside.
Yeah, but it worked really well if you wanted to take advantage of the outdoor seating overlooking the aft.
Yeah. So
which I enjoyed.
That would have been nice if that was on there, but lots of good options. So breakfast, again, the same thing, the typical eggs, sausage, bacon.
Oatmeal. I get my oatmeal all the time.
Lots of breads, different fishes, nuts, yogurts, that sort of thing.
A lot of seafood stuff, like all the time.
And the one thing I do want to say, though, you're right. But one thing I do want to say throughout the day, not just breakfast, but lunch and dinner, a ton of chopped fruit.
Yes.
So pineapple, watermelon, those sorts of things. And I appreciate that. We like to take back some fruit to the cabin in the evening.
Often separated too. So if you just wanted watermelon or you just wanted pineapple, you could.
Yeah.
You weren't forced to take the thing you didn't like.
Yeah. And I do appreciate when it's chopped, not
clean.
Eating off the rind watermelon. It's where it gets kind of messy. So I do like that. Lunch, they did have a nacho and taco station.
Yeah.
So that was really good. And I guess this would be lunch and dinner. So not just lunch, but the carving station. So different meats, different pre-made dishes.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say, though, I have a quick wish, though, about breakfast. I found sometimes the order of the food in the buffet didn't make any sense. So you would start with your, like, pancake toppings, but the pancakes were further down.
Yeah.
And so, like, it forced me to, like, line up twice because I didn't want to cut in. It's kind of that awkward thing. So that's, like, a small wish, but sometimes you go, this wasn't thought out.
Yeah. And lots of desserts as well. So they had kind of desserts right across the way.
There's always dessert.
Lots of stuff. They also did have the kind of cake display the one day. So they did serve up the cakes, but first you can come take photos of them.
I believe that was on our final sea day.
Yeah. And then there's several complimentary beverage stations. Now, on Princess, they commonly serve that for you, but you can go get it yourself.
Yeah.
Coffees and teas, decaf, lemonade iced tea in the mornings. I believe they had like an orange juice beverage or apple juice, that sort of thing. So those are in there as well. And I do always appreciate that you can go sit in there even when the buffet is closed.
I like that. It's a nice, beautiful space. And even if it's between meals, to sit there and hang out with friends, it's nice.
So I really like that it's not shut down. You could go read in there or just watch the views. So that's really nice. Now, there are several other complimentary restaurants. So there's the Sliced Pizza on Deck 14 out by the pool. So they make up pizzas kind of all day long into the evening and then serve them up there. So they were actually pretty good.
They are. They're very thin.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I find it more of a snack.
Yeah.
It's a thin, but they come out pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they serve a lot of people fast.
Yeah.
So it's very efficient for its space.
And then right next to that, Salty Dog Grill.
Which I'd say is almost the opposite in speed. So if you're pressed for time, go for the pizza, not Salty Dog Grill.
Well, they give you a pager, and then it buzzes when it's ready. Like you could end up waiting for a while if it's busy for them to make your burgers. So that burgers, chicken strips. We both like the loaded fries.
Yeah.
So I had the cheese and bacon. I think you like the
chicken strips.
The chili fries.
Oh yeah, the chili fries. I look forward to that. Yeah, it's worth the wait though.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah. And then there's also the ice cream cones that you can get over at Coffee and Cones. So soft serve there as well, not too far away. Now, the other thing, if you want more complimentary food, head on down to the Piazza and you're going to find the International Cafe.
Yes, which is open all the time. And they have a lot of complimentary food in there. But the coffee is not complimentary there.
No. And that's kind of a wish, is that they're on the lower decks of the ship, that there would be complimentary beverages somewhere.
Yeah.
Because basically you have to go up to the buffet.
Especially if you're staying in the lower deck, it'd be nice if you could, just grab a beverage to go, or even just water and stuff would be nice.
So I do appreciate the International Cafe. I did like the little pizza muffins. They were good.
Oh, those were good. And they had these little like mini granola bars that were dipped in chocolate, and they were Those were really good.
Well, and when we got home, you were talking to someone, and they said they liked those as well.
They were trying to find the recipe online. Like, they were really good. I actually picked them up in the morning and kept them hid them in my little fridge cooler so that I could enjoy them as an evening snack. So they're really good. Look for them.
So, I enjoy the International Cafe, but we do have another wish though, that the dining times were posted in the app
or on the TV, because I found it sometimes tricky to know what was open and when.
And one final like we have is that they still do complimentary room service for breakfast.
But let me explain. The complimentary room breakfast is through the door hanger. So you need to fill this out the night before and hang it on your door, and then you'll have your breakfast delivered. We didn't take advantage of this, but if you've got an early start one morning, it's really convenient.
It is a good option, especially on those port days. So, but overall, the food
was very nice.
I don't have really a lot of complaints. The food tasted really good on the cruise, and I was quite happy with it.
I was very happy. I ate way too much. It was great.
So, Andrea, the entertainment and activities on the Grand Princess.
So if I'm going to say when I feel like the holiday really kicks off and you're beginning your vacation, it's going to be at the sail away celebration out by the pool when the princess dancers come out and they dance to music. You just feel like we are on holidays now.
Yeah. Now, I enjoy that as well. It's fun. It's not as big of a dance party as you might see on like other cruise lines, but it's fun. They come out. It's more of a performance by the princess dancers. But I was torn. I have a bit of a wish for this, especially out of sailing out of Vancouver. One of the highlights of sailing out of Vancouver is sailing under the Lionsgate Bridge. And the dancers, we've sailed out a few times of there on Princess, and other times the dancers were earlier as you're leaving port, because it's about 20 minutes from leaving port to the bridge, maybe. Yeah. I felt like this time it was closer to when they were going under the bridge, and I was torn because I want to watch both. I want to go up high to watch going under the bridge, but I also want to watch the dancers.
Because you really want to go high, because you feel like you could almost touch the bridge, even though totally not possible. The child side of me wants to go to the top deck, highest point as possible. So, which means you can't see the dancers at the same time. So you got to choose.
Yeah. So,
small thing.
Yeah, it's we kind of did one of those back and forth really quick type of things, but I just wish that it was timed a little bit better. But they also, in the evening, had a welcome aboard dance party.
Yeah, this was in the Piazza. It's a smaller attended event. Like, not a lot of people participating. You know, you probably have your 10 people out on the floor dancing.
It wasn't a lot, but people were enjoying their time. It's just a fun atmosphere with the music in there. Again, not a big dance party, but just kind of that fun vibe, I guess.
So if you want to listen to music and people watch, it's a great place to go and do that.
Yeah. Now, let's jump over to the Princess Theater, so the main theater on the Grand Princess. There were some great shows through the week. Some, I would say, probably better than others. But we had a comedy magician.
First night, which I was surprised, because often a lot of cruise lines just jump into kind of like a sampler night. Yeah. Where it's more of just an introduction of a little thing. This was an actual show.
Yeah. No, it was good. I mean, the cruise director does come out and introduce themselves. This is more geared towards families, I would say.
This show was. Yeah.
And I mean, humorous. It was good. If you're a kid at heart, you'll probably like it. I enjoy it, not so much you.
No, it's not my thing.
Not so much your thing. But there was different production shows throughout the week and different other ones. So the first production show we had was Born to Dance.
This had a very educational component to it, where they looked back at the history. I believe it was the choreographers. It was good. I'm not that knowledgeable about dance, so I don't think I could fully appreciate it as if someone who has a background or knowledge of dance.
Yeah. The dancing was really good though.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So that was, I would say I enjoyed that, but there was one I definitely enjoyed more. Yeah. So we had an interesting juggler. So again, these are all especially the guests are gonna change from week to week.
For sure.
But our juggler was interesting. It was awkward. But
so we had Maurice Lapierre. It It was like juggling mixed with interpretive dance.
Yeah.
With comedy. And it just had that awkward feeling. You didn't know where it was going or what he was going to do next.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. As awkward as it was, you couldn't believe, you were like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, it was interesting.
He was changing behind like a setup on the stage, and it was weird. But he was actually quite talented.
He was very talented.
Now, was the next one your favorite? Or...
Yes. No, 100%. We had a guest singer.
Yeah.
Shayza from Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, her mom was one of the backup singers for Tina Turner.
Okay.
So you're coming from somebody who's born into a family of singers. She was fantastic. Like, fantastic.
I would say, though, well, first off, she did like a Whitney Houston tribute. Mm-hmm. So it was all Whitney Houston songs she did.
Yeah.
She was really talented, really good, crazy voice. I was a little bit scared of her because she at one point like was asking people to sing in the audience, and she was pointing at someone who was right behind me, but I thought she was pointing at me, so I was a little bit terrified. But because she called him up to sing, so but she was really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
To the point that if I was in Vegas, I would love to go see her show.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it that much. Yeah.
The other production show we had was the British Invasion, which was probably my favorite of the production shows.
That was my favorite of the in-house production shows. Yeah.
So, a lot of music you would know.
British music.
British influence, like British colors, lots of dancing, lots of lights in that one. So that one was really good. Mm-hmm. I believe that one is probably a weekly thing on there.
That one, you want to make sure you go early to get seats. Because when we went to the first show, not everyone could get a seat.
No, that's for sure. And one thing do keep in mind for some of the shows, especially like the production shows, some of the seats are reserved, the best seats are reserved for the Princess Premiere.
Yes.
So they open them up, I think, 5 minutes before. But
to the seats that haven't been taken by those guests.
So if you don't have Princess Premiere, definitely come early. So, and then there was also a farewell variety show,
which was good again because they brought Shayza out again, and then she sang some Tina Turner songs.
Yeah. So then, singing, dancing, the musicians were out there. The musicians and magician.
Yeah.
And Shayza. It was a good compilation. So
it was good.
Lots happening throughout the week. I know it changes from week to week, but I have no complaints about the entertainment.
And they had an in-house band that played on some of the nights, which just really adds to that when it's the live music.
For sure.
Really good.
Throughout the week, though, comedy. So that was typically in the Vista Lounge at the Aft, which was a great venue for it. You took dance lessons there.
I thought it was the best dance lessons that I've received at sea, the only dance lessons I've ever had.
No, you've done you've done line dancing. And
yes. I work in a middle school, so yes, I've done line dancing.
No, but on the ship, I know.
Oh yeah, but not on land.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not a dancer at all, but very clear instructions.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Really impressed.
So, but other stuff. So, art shows. There was trivia. Different game shows, kind of the marriage show where they, ask questions and try and embarrass people. A lot of stuff in the Explorers Lounge as well. So just throughout the week. They did have a couple of kind of game show type things. So Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, and you really appreciated that they did that as an afternoon activity.
Yes.
And not as the main event for the night.
I don't like when they do it as the main show in the evening. I just feel like it's other cruise lines I've seen this where they put it as a main show in the evening, and I think it should be an afternoon show because it's definitely a money maker for the ship.
Yeah. It's kind of like putting bingo as your main show.
Yeah, so
it's very entertaining. It's a great fun activity, but I'm glad it's not the evening show.
Yes. And you went to one, I didn't go to this, Voice of the Ocean.
That was surprisingly good. And I think this could bomb depending on which week you were on.
Yeah.
But we had some great singers. They bring in people audition the cruisers and they compete. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, throughout the week, so many things. There was bingo, karaoke, commonly music playing in the Piazza area. There's martini demonstrations
involving guests and crew.
And then different officers versus guests
Those were fun to watch.
So they had an axe throwing. The officers seem to do really well at that. They practice every week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
One other thing I did enjoy was the Welcome to Alaska dance.
That was a very short dance, though. So if you want to see it, it was really good. But make sure you're there early because I think it was only like 5 minutes.
5-10 minutes. Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, but it was quick. Great.
So,
really great.
And then, I mean, more going on. There was ping pong competitions and organized events in the sports courts. Now, this is one that we're sad that we missed.
Never heard of this before. So look for it in your Princess Patter. And if it's there, please check it out on our behalf.
The harmonica lessons.
And there was even our harmonica choir that we missed out on. They give you a plastic harmonica and music. We didn't stay for it because they ran out of harmonicas. So that's why you would need to go early. We showed up on time, but you need to be early.
Yeah. So if you've done that, let us know because I think that would be fun.
That was super fun.
One thing I do really like about Princess for Alaska is the North to Alaska enrichments that they do. So these are people they bring on to talk about Alaska. So the naturalists. And, on the speakers as you're sailing up to the glaciers, they come on and point out things. They even did it as we were sailing through the Inside Passage, if they spot whales, that sort of thing, as well as they bring on different Alaska experts, Iditarod champions, that sort of thing to speak. Yeah.
Different things. And even they bring in puppies in the piazza.
We didn't see them. We were
it happens while we're in port. But they have a lot of great, truly Alaska experiences you can have on board.
Yeah. And that's Princess does a really good job with that. Now, probably one of my favorite things on the cruise that we do is the culinary demonstration.
It is excellent. It's humorous. It's slightly entertaining.
There's so it was on the last day of our cruise.
No, it's very, I didn't mean to say slightly entertaining. It's very entertaining. I was going to say slightly educational.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I meant.
So it's on the last day on our cruise anyway. So it's kind of like you've got the head chef guy cooking and showing the demonstration, and then you've got the other guy who I think is one of the higher ups for the service staff.
Yeah.
And he's doing it all wrong, adding all sorts of extra ingredients. It's just a comedy show of cooking, and it's really good. But what makes it really good is they also allow you to honor the food staff.
Yeah.
So they come in at the end of it, so you can honor them. And then they take you on a tour of the galley.
And this is one of my favorites. Often when you do a tour like this, there would be an extra cost. They take everyone that's in the theater on a walk through the galley.
Yeah.
It is quite a treat. It's interesting to see behind the scenes what goes on. And they, give you a little brochure with some amazing stats of how much food they go through and stuff. But it's quite a treat.
It is good. It is
really
good. So check that out for sure. And so one other I think I had anyway is the enrichment shows. If you missed them, they were being replayed on the TV.
Which is convenient because it doesn't always line up with your schedule.
Yeah.
And sometimes in the evening, it's nice to lay in bed and miss the show that you missed.
So I do want to say, I don't really have a lot of wishes about the entertainment. Like I think it was overall as expected, but I do have a note.
Okay.
Not a lot other than the sail away kind of party. There wasn't a lot of entertainment happening out by the main pools. It was mostly inside.
That's true.
So that's probably more of an Alaska thing. There was movies out on the big screens, which is really nice. And quite a bit of them.
But
and
the party events typically happen inside.
Yeah. So they even had free popcorn.
That's a bonus.
So you can go watch movies out there. But overall, it was as expected. And we've been on quite a few cruises. So the entertainment, there's been ups and downs. But this one, I would say, met our expectations. So yeah. So great time. Enjoying all the entertainment on the Grand Princess. So hope you enjoyed our likes and wishes from our recent Alaskan cruise on the Grand Princess. If you did, make sure to follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy cruising.